ladies, where have I been? Okay, so sorry about the phone call, but I had to take that. It was a call I was waiting on, and I will explain that in a little bit. But I believe I was reintroducing myself to you because it's been so long, and I do apologize. I actually made a list so that I could remember to tell you some. There were more things, but some of the things that have been happening in our life. You just can't make this stuff up. But anyway, I do apologize for being so long getting back on here, but I think the last time, I don't even remember the last time, but anyway, we had that huge snowstorm here, and it was a really weird snowstorm because it was more ice, I guess, than snow, or it had a covering of ice on it. So like I would drive my tractor and I couldn't even break the ice on my tractor or with my tractor. And so anyway, it was not good. And all of that lasted like a solid covering for like 3 weeks here. And the kids were out of school for an entire week. And so I had made a list of, everything we were going to get done. And we did. It was a good week off. But anyway, and so we had all the snowstorm. Well, in the middle of the snowstorm, we had a calf born. The calf was doing great. But Mama was not. And so she had a really, really bad prolapse. So her uterus came out. And we've had that happen before, and you can put it back in and kind of put a little stitch on the cow, and they usually do fine. This one was severe, and we took her to the vet and everything, and she could not be saved. And unfortunately, we hated losing any cow, but she was my daughter Asher's pet cow. And so that was hard right there in the middle of all of that. And so the only shining part in that was that she had a baby calf before, obviously, because that's what caused the prolapse. And so we brought him home and we got to bottle feed him. And he was a little boy, and so our plan was to raise him up and put him as a bull, a replacement bull for down the road. And Fabio was what my daughter named him. And I don't know if you remember those I Can't Believe It's Not Butter commercials, and they had the guy with the long hair. I have no idea. It's not like she grew up in that time period. So, but anyway, I just thought that was hilarious. So that's what she named the calf, and he was a cutie. So that he was born January 31st. And so he's been here with us, and he's been in the barn, and we've been, bottle feeding and everything 3 times a day. So that was like, and I know that doesn't sound like much. Well, you only had to give him a bottle 3 times a day. It took like an hour every time we went down to take care of him and all of his needs. And so that was sort of a schedule changer. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. So recently we have had some animals. We had a skunk and a raccoon that were acting very odd here. They were out during the day. They weren't afraid of you. They were, and so we had to take care of those. But recently her calf started acting strange. He didn't want you to touch him. He stopped eating. He was doing his mouth funny, almost like he had something stuck in the roof of his mouth and he was trying to get it out. And just some other things. But like when you would the vet came out several times, and when we would examine him, there was no fever. He didn't have a cold. He didn't, no, his lungs were good. So it was like, well, why is he acting so strange? And unfortunately, his symptoms were the symptoms of rabies in a cow or calf. And so it was such a slim chance that he did have rabies. He had not been attacked. It wasn't like he had any marks on him where an animal had attacked him. But, you figure he is at a barn, and if an animal with rabies maybe licks his trough and then he licks where it did, it's such a slim chance. But I have my family to look after and protect. And so we went back and forth, like, what do we do? And the vet even, he said, it's such a small chance. He said, but there is a chance. So unfortunately, we had to make the hard decision to put the calf down and have him tested, because that's the only way you can test for rabies. And that was what that call was. So we had him put down Monday, and that was the lab calling, and he, praise the Lord, he did test negative. So no rabies. But, you know, I feel awful having had to do that, but at the same time, my family is more important. And so anyway, that was traumatic in and of itself. That has been horrible. So picture my daughter lost her pet cow, and now she lost its baby as well. And so that has not been easy for her. Other things that occurred since the snowstorm, my son's truck broke down. So that was fun. We had to get that fixed. My daughter's car broke down. The same daughter that lost the cow and the calf, a deer hit her brand new car. A deer hit my son's truck. So these are in addition to the breakdowns. My Suburban is now sitting in the yard because I think the alternator has gone bad. Let's see. We've had really bad colds, everybody. But then on top of that, my youngest daughter had the flu. The same week that she had the flu, we got the news that the horse that she shows on was going to have to be put to sleep because she had an injury. The owner had 4 different vets out to look at her. And this has been going on since October. And basically the horse wasn't any better, even with everything they've done, and that she would be in pain her entire life from this point forward. And so they were going to have to put her down. And then, so, you know, trying to explain that to an 11-year-old who's been riding this horse for 5 years, that was a horrible time. I mean, I cried, and it wasn't even my horse. My daughter was just, you know, bawling. We had to go say goodbye to the horse before she was put down. That was just, that was heart-wrenching. And so anyway, we had all of that going on. In the middle of everything, we purchased 5 heifers they came out of my bull, but out of my brother-in-law's cows. So we bought 5 from him. So I'm trying to get them done, or kind of used to us and everything. They're only like 6 months old, so they've got a long time before they'll become mommies. But I've been working on my Etsy shop, trying to get that going. And then out of the blue, the daughter with the cows, she decides that she's going to play tennis. She's never played tennis before. She has never picked up a racket. She tries out, and I thought, because, you know, that would change everything for us, because she drives to school, takes the kids, brings the kids home in the afternoon. And so anyway, I thought, oh, sure, go ahead and try out, thinking she probably wouldn't make the team. And I know that sounds bad, but I thought, you know, because she's never played before. She didn't even know how to keep score. The child made the team and has won every match that she's had. I'm like, oh my goodness. So anyway, so now, you know, I'm going to, she takes them in the morning, but I have to go get them in the evenings. And then we have now, you know, tennis matches to go to and stuff. So I say all of that to say our life has been like a 3-ring circus since the middle of January, I guess. And so anyway, I appreciate those of you who are still here and have stuck it out with me. It has been an emotional roller coaster to start the new year. And I had told the kids at the beginning of the year, I said, this year is going to be better, because last year was rough. And I said, this year is going to be better. And so they have gotten quite the kick out of telling me, what did you say about this year? Because it has not started off better. But anyway, the Lord is in charge of everything. It's going to be okay. He knows all things. And so, and you know, even with the little calf, so I don't know what you know about farming, but you don't typically keep little boy cows unless you're going to make a bull out of them. So if you band them and they're steers, you don't keep a steer. They have no purpose per se after that, you know. Most people use them for meat. And so anyway, if we were not going to be able to make a bull out of this calf, then at some point we were going to have to part ways with him. And that was going to be really hard on my daughter if we had had him for, say, a year, and then we had to part ways with him. So there was something wrong with him. It wasn't rabies, and I'm thankful for that, but something wasn't right with him. And you know, we had the vet out several times trying to figure out and treat him. And, you know, so I feel like I've had several situations like this where you think, oh, well, I wish I hadn't, you know, man, I hate that I did something, but, you know, the Lord knows best. And it's always in his timing. And so we may not even understand why all of this happened this side of heaven, but, you know, he does know best, and it's all in his plans. And so I wanted to update you because sometimes I'll tell you guys if I'm doing like a new Bible study or something. And I had done a Bible study recently with Lisa TerKeurst back, I think last year, called Uninvited. And I had told you guys about it and how much I liked it. And the one, so I'm doing a new one of hers, and I just wanted to let you guys know about it in case it was something that you thought might be beneficial to you. And it's called Forgiving What You Can't Forget. And it's, you know, if you've ever had anything traumatic happen to you in your life, or you have someone has hurt you and you have trouble getting over it, you know, and sometimes it's something where you have triggers that keep coming back up, and it's like you think you're over it, and then like something triggers you, and you're kind of back where you feel like you're back where you started. This Bible study is for you. It is absolutely amazing. And I'm maybe a quarter of the way through, but just the way she does a Bible study, it's just so much from her heart, and it's, you know, through scripture, and I've gotten so much out of it already, and I just wanted to share it with you guys in case you thought that might be something that would be beneficial to you. So I'm really enjoying that. And then also the carnivore diet, still doing that. Update on that. Let's see, I'm at 11 weeks and I've lost 21 pounds. And so I'm really tickled with the progress. I will say that my walking, if I could be consistent with it, would really help, and I would probably have lost a lot more by now. But 11 weeks, 21 pounds at my age, 48, female, that's pretty daggone good, I think. So not hungry at all. The protein really keeps me full. Everything that's been going on in my life, my walking and the temperatures have been frigid. And it's like we can't seem to warm up permanently. And so my walking has not been consistent the way I would like for it to be. But I've been really tickled. My husband is doing it as well. And, you know, it's so much easier for men to lose weight than women. He's lost over 40 pounds at this point, and we've been on it the same amount of time, which is insane to me. I'm like, you are so fortunate. But anyway, I say all of this just to let you know an update on where I have been and what's been going on with me. And I would love to know in the comments below what's been going on with you guys. I feel like it's been forever. And I will tell you, I was doing so well with my house, and then life just has kicked me in the teeth. But you know what? I'm not discouraged, because it's just, okay, all this happened. Now we're ready to get back on the horse per se and just keep going. And so, you know, I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay, everything needs to be done. Everything needs to be done. And it's like, well, where do you begin when it's like that? And I thought, let's begin wherever, with whatever will move you forward the most. And so I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? My kitchen, that's where I need to begin for me personally. I don't know if you're having the same type of season that I am, where everything was just chaotic and everything was going on. If you are, what would move you forward the most? What would make the biggest difference in the smallest amount of time for you? Because even though everything needs to be done, everything cannot be done all at once. And so you just have to realize that and be like, okay, I'm going to do what I can to make it better today. and just, one step, let's just get it a little bit better. And so for me, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to clean my kitchen today. And that's what's going to move the needle forward for me. I've already fed the cows this morning. I need to go check on I fed the calves. So I've also got, in addition to everything else, I have 31 steers down here at the barn that were brought in last week. I guess so, last week. And so anyway, I need to go check on the cows that we have that are separate at a different location. But anyway, so I need to do that. I need to, my daughter has a tennis match today, and I've got to pick the kids up from school. And I've had some orders for some t-shirts that I'm making, so I need to go pick up those and get all the supplies to get those done with my Cricut. So I ended up doing t-shirts. It was really the night we were having to tell the horse goodbye. My daughter came up with the idea. She said, we should make t-shirts. And she said the horse's name was Jolene. And they just loved her. And she was super sweet and wonderful, but she was sassy at the same time. And so Mercy said, we should do a picture of her on the shirt and put sweet but sassy. And so anyway, I made shirts for her instructor and one of her friends that also rode the horse. And then I told her instructor, I said, if anybody else wants any, just let me know. And so I'm going to do, I have a couple more of those to make. And so I want to get the stuff for that. And then I've also got a peanut butter candy order that somebody placed on my Etsy shop. And so I'm going to get that done to ship out tomorrow. And so busy day. But I'm excited. Spring is here, even though I'm about to freeze. I have my hot tea. Now I am still having my hot tea, even on this carnivore diet. And this is like sort of my one cheat that I do. But I used to have 5 cubes of sugar in 1 cup of tea. I only put 1 cube in it now. And so I figure, well, that's much healthier than 5. And so anyway, but I have that out here this morning because it's cold, and I have just been running my mouth this morning, but I'm so excited to be back on here and talking to you guys. And so we're going to hop in the house, and I'm going to show you what my kitchen looks like. And I'm just going to show it to you, and then I'm going to clean it, and I'm going to show you. It may not be finished at the end, but it will be better. And so anyway, if you have something you need to get done today, hop at it, just get going. And so we will just see how much we can get done before I've got to head out and run errands and pick up children and all that. So, all right, let's get at it. All right, ladies. So here's the reality of where we are. So the trash needs to be taken out. Dishes, just got to get it cleaned up. And, honestly, the whole house looks like this. But that's okay. One step at the time, one day at the time, we will get back on track. And before all of this happened, before life fell apart, I was actually using a new program I had found to help me with that, as well as helping me with like tracking finances and stuff. And anyway, so at some point I'll probably share that with you because I've really been enjoying it, especially for the house end of it. And it was working until life fell apart. But we are going to get in here today and clean this up. And I'll tell you, so my kitchen even looked like this weekend, and my son's girlfriend came over, and they're pretty serious about each other. And so I told her, I said, look, I said, I thought I had 2 choices. I could have stayed home from church Sunday and cleaned everything up so that it looked nice when she came. And I thought the Lord is not going to bless that. And so I thought I'm just going to go to church. And so I told her, I said, I had 2 choices. I could have gone to church or I could have stayed here and cleaned the house. I said, but I decided that if you're going to be with us and be part of the family, you're going to see the house like this at some point anyway. And this is just real life for us. And so she was totally fine. She was. But it was hard on me to just be like, oh, here it is, because she doesn't know I have a YouTube channel, so she doesn't watch that. But anyway, and it was just, that was difficult for me, swallowing my pride and letting people see the house. You guys, I don't mind because you're my friends. But anyway, it's, I just decided that it was what it was. And so, but today we're going to get in here and we're going to make it better. And so I'm excited. Let's see what we can get done. All right. I just wanted to show, I didn't show me Hello. I didn't show, like, you know, washing the dishes and stuff because obviously you guys know how to wash dishes. But anyway, I wanted to show you my progress. So I have done pretty good cleaning up. I have pretty much this stuff and a little bit over there. And my dishwasher is going, so I have two options. I can either wash the rest of this by hand or do something else and wait till my dishwasher finishes. And so then most of this would fit in my dishwasher. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is just go ahead and wait for everything to finish and then put this in, and then I can clean the counters and then I'll be done. All right, ladies, look at that. Took the trash out. All the dishes are done. And I want to show you real quick. I have done some Easter decorating, and up here, I'm not sure how much you can tell. Let's see if I can get the camera up there. I did my Fabergé eggs and plates up here for Easter this year. And so as a little girl, my grandmother would take me to museums, which I absolutely loved, and I just fell in love with the Fabergé eggs. And so I have plates, and I have some like replica eggs, obviously not the real ones. Those are worth millions, and I don't have any of those. But anyway, and I just loved them. I love the story behind it. If you don't know the story behind it, I highly encourage you to look that up. It's very romantic. And so anyway, my battery died on me. I had to switch them out. But anyway, if you don't know the story of the Fabergé eggs, look it up. It's really neat. But so I did do that for Easter in here, which is a little different. I've actually never used them before. I usually have them put away in a cabinet and behind glass. And I thought, you know what? Let's pull them out and use them for Easter this year. So anyway, that's it for today. If you hear a bird chirping in the background, I don't know if you can hear it on the video or not. We do have a new member of the family. He is a blue parakeet, and his name is Pinto Bean. And so my daughter got him for her birthday, and she just loves him to pieces. And he's pretty cool. So anyway, but if you are like me and you just need to start somewhere, start wherever you're gonna move yourself forward the most. With the smallest amount of effort. And for me, it was the dishes. It took me about an hour, but I got the whole kitchen cleaned up, and I feel so much better. And now I'm ready to run errands. And when I get home and I'm ready to cook dinner, everything is clean, and it just makes it a lot easier. So just a more peaceful environment. But anyway, we're gonna get back on track now, or at least I hope so. And anyway, you guys have a great day, and it was so good being with you. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.